work very late hours, Mr. Queen.
Putting Killing back on the table is a huge step backwards. That's not what she would have wanted.
The dead don't want anything. If you hit me again, I'm gonna kill you.
It's not pain that breaks me. It's fear.
SCPD thinks that these murders might be the works of a different vigilante.
It's just me out there. I can't do it alone. I'm recruiting a new team.
They're already out there, Oliver. Because of you. Inspired by you.
I'm Curtis.
Evelyn Sharp.
So wait, there's training?
Get past me. Ring that bell.
So we're playing games now?
I have no family. I have no home. I have no name. You bratva.
Who are you?
The Green Arrow is mine.
Arrow, season premiere Wednesday, 8/7 Central on the CW.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So new Arrow trailer, we finally get a look at Dolph Lundgren. He is going to break Oliver. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to make all the jokes. This trailer's way better than all the previous Arrow trailers. The tone of the music just gives you an idea for the tone of the first couple of episodes, where we pick up with Oliver. Killing, so to speak, is back on the table. Laurel wouldn't have wanted that. The dead don't want anything. You also get teasers for the Bratva in the flashbacks. And we finally see Dolph Lundgren. He's basically the big villain of the flashbacks, as you would want him to be. He is going to break Oliver. It's going to be the Rocky training montage, He-Man versus Skeletor battle royale of our dreams. But we also get to hear Prometheus speak at the very end of the trailer. He or she, like we should, gender non-specific, has Tobias Church, Tyrese himself, who's like the biggest dude ever, on his knees. Who are you? The Green Arrow is mine. So the way they modulated the voice sounds like it could either be a woman or a man. The shots that they've included of the character in the trailers so far have been very weird angles, so you can't really tell from the way they stand or the way they walk. But you guys can let me know, do you think that Prometheus could be a woman? Normally you would assume that it's like a really big, tall, hulking man that's just as tall as Stephen Amell, and Stephen Amell's a little over 6 feet, so he's pretty tall. But it's not like the Tony Todd Zoom voice where you're like, this is definitely a man speaking. You definitely recognize Tony Todd's voice, and that kind of lets you know that Zoom is a man. But the Prometheus character in the comic books is a male character, so you kind of assume going into this, when they announced that Prometheus was going to be the big bad, that it would be a dude from season 1. It would be some deep cut oh my god, somebody's come back to make Oliver pay for everything he's done. But we'll probably get some more clues in the first couple of episodes. I'm not expecting them to reveal too much too soon, but just the way they've cut this trailer makes it look like there's just a bunch of big action set pieces in the first couple of episodes, way more than you would think before. It's more built around that type of storytelling. They call it Game of Thrones storytelling because it's event-based programming each week. Each new episode is a big event. It's not just a bunch of big characters standing around talking to each other, or a bottle episode where they're all trapped inside the Arrow cave for an entire hour. But we get a better look at the new Team Arrow. We see Wild Dog unleashing, Felicity has that line where she's like, all these vigilantes have been inspired by you, they're already out there. Oliver wants to put a new team together. And that sharp tip that Quentin has looks like it might be from Prometheus. Maybe that's part of his arc this season. Remember the early days of Quentin's storyline. He was just committed to taking the vigilante down, He was obsessed with Oliver, thought that he was the vigilante, then that was like a whole big thing for the first couple of seasons. So now maybe part of his arc is in tracking down this other vigilante. Like they say, the SCPD thinks that this is the work of another vigilante. So the thing about that is that Oliver seems like he's going to be dropping bodies. The other new vigilantes like Wild Dog who joined Team Arrow also look like they're dropping bodies. Or, we don't see him kill anyone, but we see him draw those guns. It's just that you see all these dead bodies, so I'm guessing that these are from Prometheus. And the other, one of my other favorite lines from the trailer is actually what they open with, where you hear that female voice say, "You work very late hours, Mr. Queen." So one, it sounds like somebody inside Oliver's mayoral team, someone inside that office is trying to cozy up to him. But two, obviously he's leading the double life where he's the mayor during the day, doing all the political stuff, then at night he's the Green Arrow, putting killing back on the table. But let's see, other new stuff. So David Nichol is back, the actor is back. He plays KG Beast from the comics, although they haven't called him KG Beast, so they might give the actual KG Beast name to another character. We don't really know the name of Dolph Lundgren's character, but the real life name of David Nichol's character is KG Beast in the comics, so I don't know if they're going to change that. But we also see more of Zombie, Cody Rhodes. We see a little bit more of Dig helping train the new team. We see Thea in her costume. I don't really know what her status is going to be this year because her big thing last year was that she would not continue to be a vigilante. So maybe she's flying solo. We see Felicity's new boyfriend. They've teased him, like we'll meet him in the first couple of episodes. We know about the Fortnite crossover. You may not have read it, but there's a storyline in the comics from the 80s written by Todd McFarlane, the guy who created Spawn, called Invasion. And it's basically the Dominators invading Earth. That's going to be the MacGuffin of the Fortnite crossover. Now, because Supergirl is still on a different Earth, she's going to be the beginning of that crossover. She'll see like the first steps of it. Then it'll be a much bigger thing on Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. We don't really know how it's going to play out. We only know that the multiverse is going to be involved. And it also adds to the theory that during the Arrow 100th episode, which is like the Arrow part of the Fortnite crossover, will be Earth 2 Robert Queen, who's the Green Arrow of his Earth. The other really cool thing is that the title of that big comic book arc is Invasion with an exclamation point. So obviously one of the titles of the episodes is going to be Invasion with the exclamation point. They revealed that the title of the Arrow 100th episode has an exclamation point at the end of it. So I'm guessing Arrow episode 8 will be titled Invasion. It'll be like the big climax. Like, typically in a big story, you have the first act introduction, you have the second act build, you have a third act climax, then you have a fourth act conclusion. So think about each of the 4 shows in that way, meaning that Arrow would be like the big third act climax of the Fortnite crossover, and they'd resolve it. The conclusion would be on the 4th night on Legends of Tomorrow right after that. But like Stephen Amell's been posting pictures from the Arrow part of the crossover. We see him standing next to Supergirl here on this rooftop in Vancouver.
The schedule has been very reasonable. The schedule for the crossover is basically like, for the crossover, I read all of the scripts 3 times, and then I basically live one day at a time where they just tell me where I'm going because I'm vacillating between shows. Yesterday I was on Legends and then I was on Flash, and I got to do a scene with Victor Garber. Not saying on which show. And Grant. It's nice working with Grant.
So all kinds of crazy shit's going to be happening. I'm expecting more Flash trailer stuff to drop in the next day or so. So depending on what more we learn about the crossover, I'll do a separate video about that. But I'm really excited. I think the Dominators are a good start. In a future season, they could do something even crazier. They could do one of the Crisis, like Crisis on Infinite Earths or Infinite Crisis, as a way to combine Supergirl's Earth with Oliver and Barry's Earth 1. If you are confused about which Earth is which, Earth 1 is the Earth that we've been viewing on the TV shows this whole time. Earth 2 is the one they introduced during Flash last season. Earth 3 is where Jay Garrick is from, and they haven't officially said which Earth Supergirl is on, but I'm hoping that they actually just combine her Earth with Jay Garrick's Earth, and Jay Garrick is the way she gets to Oliver and Barry's Earth, because the only characters we've seen so far that can travel the multiverse are Flash family people. Like Zoom could do it, Barry could do it, Jay Garrick could do it, so it sounds like you have to have the Speed Force in this universe to travel between Earths. So maybe Jay Garrick or maybe Barry, somebody goes and gets her and brings her to Earth. Otherwise, I don't think she'd be able to do it by herself, but we'll probably find out pretty soon. So later today, new Flash posting, so be sure to subscribe to get it. There's a new round of the giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video, so that should post in the next couple of hours. Get hype. It is going to be awesome. I'm so excited about all this. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here for my Fight Club trailer video, and you can click here for my Arrow 100th episode video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.